The LA Kings are undefeated in regulation. How good does that sound, guys? They are 4-1-0 in their first 5 games. And that is a record I don't think I've seen in quite some time. I am thrilled at the way the Kings are playing right now. Not so much for the first period. They still need to learn to wake up for those first 20 minutes. I don't really understand it, but they were so slow. The first 5-10 minutes, I swear to God, nothing happened. It was so boring. They were just kind of skating back and forth. There was no chemistry. There was no good shots on either side. And considering that the Sabres were 0-4 coming into this and desperate for a win, that has tended to be when the Kings don't play their best. They play down to teams who are not as successful, and they kind of underestimate their opponents that, don't have the greatest records. And it kind of looked like at the beginning that's what was happening. Andreev made me want to punch him in the face so many times. I really think I may need, anger management therapy. I don't understand. I don't understand why he's in the lineup. I know Clifford was injured last game. He is out with an upper body injury. He was seen with a sling. Somewhat appropriate because the zombie bobblehead was the giveaway. I guess it was a Halloween theme. Poor Kyle. I'm sure he doesn't look that bad, but he was not in tonight's lineup. Ironic because Alec Martinez is better. He is off IR. He's officially been activated. Ledoux is back in Ontario, and the first thing Martinez did was kind of get smashed to the ground twice in the first period. It was pretty big hits on the poor guy. One of them was from Jordan Nolan, which just way to break my heart, dude. Thank you. I get it, though. He was picked up off of waivers by Buffalo. This is their first game against the Kings. He and Davis Payne both had some very beautiful video tributes during the media time out in the stadium. So it was nice to see them back. Less nice to see Nolan, kicking the crap out of our poor Jazz hands. But yeah, the Kings took a few penalties in the first period that were a little iffy on their part. Like, why were you doing that kind of penalties? But the Sabres have remained scoreless for, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but it was 243 minutes and 48 seconds or something like that in Staples Center. They have not scored a goal since 2010 at home here. That streak was snapped, and it was Andreev's fault. I mean, yes, it was kind of bound to happen, I'm sure, but Andreev lost his man, which was Jack Eichel, who was the second star of the game, and rightfully so. He was the best Sabre on the ice tonight, and Andreev lost a puck battle. It was a bad turnover, and it ended up with Eichel. He was trying to chase Eichel down, obviously couldn't do it. Eichel feeds a pass. It's 2-on-1, I'm pretty sure, and when Andreev is the only guy back there, yeah, that's not going to go well, guys. Andreev versus Eichel, I pick Eichel every time. So sure enough, Quick can't you can't face two things at once, and so Eichel elects to make the pass. Sabres goal. Kings are down. Again. The last time they were down in a game this season, they lost it in overtime. Up until that game against Calgary. No, it wasn't Calgary. Yeah, it was Calgary. They hadn't been losing at any point. So it was, the way they were playing, it was not a great start, not a good sign. And then in the second period, they came back and Jonathan Quick did that magic thing where he just is amazing. He made some spectacular saves that really kind of woke the rest of the team up. About 5, maybe 10 minutes into the second period, they're suddenly like, oh, right, I can play hockey. Yeah, okay, cool, I got this. It's all good. Up until now, the Kings were 0-16 on the power play. Now, granted, the goal that was scored in the beginning of the third period against Calgary, believe it was Dustin Brown, was maybe 1-2 seconds after the power play ended, but technically the Kings have not been credited with a power play goal all season, which is a grand total of 5 games, but still. And up until now, they had been playing with 4 forwards and 1 defenseman. Now, I totally understand the mentality behind that, but it had not been working well for them. They needed to switch it up, and they did. And they were 3 for 3 on the power play tonight, guys. 3 for 3. The third one was spectacular. We'll get there. So the first goal, that came from our old El Capitan, Dustin Brown. He crashed the net, and this whole sequence was just a whole bunch of Kings not giving up on the puck, and I loved it. I love seeing that. I also am just so happy to see Brown thriving. Absolutely thriving this season. And again, I know it's a small sample. It's only 5 games, but he is a completely different player. It's so exciting to watch him on the ice. And he and Kopi actually have this great chemistry together. I'm absolutely loving this top line. So that's the first power play goal. Brownie crushing the net, doing great things. He is, by the way, the Kings leader in goals, assists, and points. Just FYI. So good things are going on there. So after goal number 1, there is the chance for the Kings to capitalize on the momentum. This stunning 2-on-1, and I'm like, why didn't that go in? And I look up and I realize it's Andrew freaking shooting again. Seriously, he took a terrible penalty at some point right after that, actually, in which Jonathan Quick had to be a freaking Jedi to keep the puck out of the net. He was, because he's Jonathan Quick, but he was called upon a little more than he should have perhaps been. Thank you, Andreev. However, I mean, not that this justifies Andreev taking a dumbass penalty, because it was a dumbass penalty. Both Drew and Toffoli in their post-game presser mentioned that particular sequence of Quick just like absolutely point blank stopping things really helped spur them forward in the game and give them momentum, because they really did. After Brownie's first goal, tying it up, they had a lot of momentum going into the game, or continuing in the game. Anyway, so we're good on the power play. We leave the second period 1-1, and we go into the third, and we get another power play. So following another spectacular Jonathan Quick PK performance, the Kings on the power play, my God, Toffoli's hands. That is the sickest snapshot I've ever seen. It makes me want to cry. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Tyler. So that's his second goal of the season. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Kings are up 2-1, and there's maybe 8-10 minutes left, and you're like, guys, just hang on. Not so much, because Eichel does his thing again, and he ties it up less than a minute, I believe, after we get our go-ahead goal there on the power play. So LA Kings, guys. So vintage LA Kings. But it was Eichel scored the goal this time. He actually got his own rebound. It was annoyingly impressive. Picks up his rebound, gets it right around Crick's left side over there. So we're tied again, and things are counting down, and there's not really great chances at either end. And you're thinking, oh no, I'm a little iffy on this. 2 minutes and 4 seconds before the end of the third period, we get a third power play. And we're all sitting there thinking, this is the perfect time to be up in the game, and a power play could give us all the momentum and the ability to do that and make it so incredibly difficult for the Sabres to come back. But, we've already scored on 2 of our 2 power plays. What are the chances that we're going to do it again? Well, you put Drew Doughty on the ice, and they're 100%, guys. This was Drew's first goal of the season, 4 seconds into the power play. The poor goalie had no chance. Dustin Brown is standing right in front of him. Amazing screen. Can't see a thing. Drew just rockets it straight past him. It, we are going wild at the stadium. Absolutely crazy. The Sabres have 2 minutes left to tie this up, and obviously they're going to pull their goalie, so it's a little tense. But Drew has just given everyone hope. So there's like a minute and a half of play, and things are looking pretty scary with their extra attacker out there. We get one icing, totally misses the empty net. We both end up calling a timeout at one point in those last 2 minutes, and Quickie's looking good, but it's looking a little scary. And then Tanner Pearson, thank the sweet baby Jesus, he gets that empty net goal with like 16 seconds or something to go, and that's it. They're not coming back for that. At which point, I actually feel bad for Buffalo, because I'm weird like that and have empathy for a team that is now 0-5 in the start of their season. That's not where you want to be at all. I really hope they end up playing a team next that I don't like, and I can be super happy for them when they win. But for now, I'm just going to be super happy with the Kings' performance starting in the second period.